To me, it looks like the actions of some are leading to a perception that the majority are using their clout to bend rules to their own advantage. It is true that governments are beginning to take action, and I'm sure most of you in this room would like more action taken still. But from the perspective of a large company, I think if we simply focused on the rules, we might be in danger of missing the wider point. For businesses like mine, what's at stake is much more serious than a technical argument over what is bending a rule and what is a proper way to plan complex tax affairs. This is about our legitimacy within the society that enables us to exist. I'd like to go back to first principles. Taxes, of course, pay for public services, and businesses need public services. Take SSE as a case in point. We employ thousands of people out in the community maintaining the electricity networks, reading meters, and fixing and installing boilers. We need the communities we work in to be policed and safe. Our growing businesses need employees. There are real skill gaps and shortages in the energy industry. We need smart and skilled people, which means a high quality education system across schools, colleges and universities. And when our employees get hurt or are ill, we depend on the NHS to get them back on their feet again. It's obvious that successful companies depend on good public services, and this demands full respect for each and every one of the countries in which we do our business. Also, we bear a variety of taxes: property, people and environment taxes. But corporation tax is an important category of tax in its own right. What I'm making the case for is a responsible attitude towards corporation tax from big business, an attitude that doesn't consider tax as a penalty on profit. Rather, it's the appropriate way to share profit with the society that enabled it in the first place. 1 year ago, we knew that corporation tax was totemic and at the heart of a credibility gap between customers and big business. That's when we got in touch with the Fair Tax team, and they provided us with a service we needed. After taking some brave pills, we welcomed the standards they set. It was a journey. They challenged us, cajoled us, and encouraged us. And in the end, we achieved accreditation because we took steps towards increased transparency. We published a tax policy, explicitly ruling out the use of artificial tax avoidance schemes and tax havens. We undertook country-by-country reporting, demonstrating what profit we made where, and we disclosed significantly more detail on SSE's tax charge and the explanations for it. Ultimately, we listened to a stakeholder we hadn't listened to before. We learned as a result, and I would like to thank the team at the Fair Tax Mark for the work they did at the time and for the positive relationship we continue to enjoy. I have another message for the accountants in the room, and of course, I'm one myself. There's a further lens to consider the troubles of tax avoidance through. Some companies are now having to warn investors that the tightening of international tax rules may have a material impact on their earnings in the future. SSE is not among them, because our policy has always been to play by the rules when it comes to tax and to be a responsible taxpayer, something borne out by the work we've done with the Fair Tax Mark. So perhaps the best way to stay ahead and manage these risks is simply to listen very hard to what customers are saying. Of course, restoring trust in big business will take more than a fair approach to tax. SSE is an energy company. We provide something that people need, and I believe that means we have an obligation to reach for higher business standards than most. We can and we do give money to good causes. Last year we gave around £4 million, and let's put that into context. SSE's taxes paid to government were over £500 million, £224 million in profit taxes. We invest around £1.5 billion a year in UK infrastructure. We have an annual supply chain worth around £2.2 billion. We can make a difference to the common good simply in the way we undertake our day-to-day business. And our aim is to achieve enhanced social, economic and environmental impact through our core business activities. The best example is what we can achieve as a living wage employer. The living wage accreditation is a bit like the fair tax mark. Standards are set by an independent body and we commit to meet them. That means we don't simply guarantee our own staff a living wage. We are using the power of our supply chain to implement the living wage for contracted employees who regularly work on our sites. This is a great example of how we can help create the conditions for higher standards elsewhere. So, in conclusion, I believe that modern, responsible businesses should create sustainable employment and reward people fairly, support local communities and open up economic opportunities, pay a fair share of tax, listen to customer opinion, responding to their greatest challenges and concerns, and to demonstrate we're serious about all these things, at all times be open, transparent and accountable. If SSE and companies like us do all these things, then we might have the chance of rebuilding trust with our customers and the communities we live and work in. Thank you.